All right, so first thing we're going to do is divide polynomials. So this polynomial or binomial divided by this monomial. So the numbers, the coefficients are going to divide like normal. So it's going to be 5 divided by 5, which is 1, and x over x to the third power divided by x is going to be x to the second power. So this right here is going to make x to the second power because I'm not going to write 1x squared. Then we have a positive, so it's going to be 15 divided by 5. That's going to be 3. And x squared divided by x is just going to be x because the exponents subtract when they divide. Now, let's factor here. So now we're going to factor this. So we're going to find out what they're all divisible by, the coefficients. So 6, 2, and 8 are all divisible by 2. So I know that I can divide everything by 2. So I'm reversing the distributive property is what factoring is. So now, instead of distributing a 2, we're going to divide a 2 out. So it's going to leave us with 3x to the 5th minus x to the 4th plus 4x to the 3rd. Now we have to look for how many x's they have in common. This has 3, this has 4, and this has 5. So they at least have 3 in common, or at most they have 3 in common. So we're going to remove that. So 2x to the 3rd now. I'm going to reverse the distributive property and remove it from the entire polynomial, causing it to be 3x squared minus x plus 4. And now I've completely factored the polynomial. Now this polynomial, factoring this one's a little bit different because this was the result of a binomial times a binomial. So we have to think what two numbers multiply to make 12, but when you add them, they make 8. Okay? So I'll let you think of that for a second. You should have gotten 6 and 2. So this sign right here tells me that they're both going to be the same sign. And this one here tells me that the largest of the two numbers is going to be positive. So if the largest one's going to be positive and they're both the same, then they're both positive. So the two numbers that multiply to make 12, but when you add them make 8, are 6 and 2. Now here, what two numbers multiply to make 20, but when you subtract them, they make 8? All right, I'll let you think of that while I set it up. X and X. So, do you have the two numbers? 10 and 2 is correct. So 10 and 2. Now, because this is a minus sign, I know both of these signs are different. One has to be a plus and one has to be a minus. That's what this one tells me. Now this one, the largest number has to go with the positive sign. So the largest of the two numbers is the 10. And that one's a 2. And now it's been factored. Let's do another one. What two numbers multiply to make 12, but when you add them, they make 7? First, I know that both signs are going to be the same, okay, because the plus sign here, and that the largest number is going to be negative. So if I know one of them is negative, and both of them are the same, I know both of them are negative. So now I just have to think of my two numbers that multiply to make 12, but when you add them, they make 7. 3 and 4. That is correct. So 3 goes here and 4 will here. Can I put 4 here and 3 here? Yes. Okay? Because they're both the same sign, it doesn't matter what the order is here. So let's do the next one here. There we go. So now you're thinking, what two numbers multiply to make 40, but when you add them, make 6? I'll let you think about it. Now you know both signs are the same, and they're going to be negative, because the largest one is negative. Okay? And then, so the two that multiply to make 40, but when you add them make 6, is going to be 10 and 2. So 10 and 2, 10 and 2. All right. Last one here. Okay, I don't think I did a negative, so I'm going to change this one to a negative sign. Now this one looks a little odd. It just means that there's going to be a variable in each. So there's going to be an x here and the y here. Now we start to think of our numbers. Now, because this is a minus sign, I know both signs are different, right? Now I have to think of the two numbers that multiply to make 10, but when you subtract them, make 9. 10 and 1, right? And the 10 has to match the center, so it's going to go here. So the 10 goes here, and the 1 goes here. So the 1's doesn't have to be next to the y. So the final answer that I will be happy with is that. And that's it.